On the morning of May 25th, 1979, 6-year-old Etan Patz asked his mother a simple question. Can I walk to the bus stop alone today? For most families now, that question may sound terrifying, but at the time, it felt normal. The neighborhood in New York seemed safe. Children often walked short distances by themselves, and after hesitation, his mother finally agreed. She watched him leave the apartment carrying his school bag and wearing a small smile. Nobody inside that home realized they were witnessing the final ordinary moment their family would ever experience again. Etan never made it to school. When the bus arrived, he was missing. At first, the situation did not immediately feel catastrophic. People assumed a delay, a misunderstanding. Maybe he followed friends somewhere. But as hours passed, panic slowly replaced logic. His parents searched frantically. Neighbors joined. Police became involved. And suddenly, an ordinary Friday morning transformed into every parent's worst nightmare. A child had vanished in the middle of a busy city, without explanation, without witnesses clearly understanding what happened, without answers. As the search expanded, Etan's face began appearing everywhere, on television, on posters, in newspapers. For millions of Americans, his photograph became emotionally unforgettable because something about the image affected people deeply. He looked like an ordinary child any family could recognize. And maybe that was what made the fear spread nationally. Parents across the country suddenly began questioning routines they once considered harmless. Walking alone, playing outside, waiting at bus stops. The case permanently changed how many families viewed child safety in America. But inside the Patz home, the emotional damage became frozen in time. His mother could not emotionally let go. For decades, parts of Etan's room reportedly remained untouched. Birthdays became painful reminders. Every passing year created a strange emotional contradiction. Hope slowly weakened, but never completely disappeared. Because for many families of missing persons, certainty can sometimes feel emotionally easier than endless uncertainty. No goodbye, no explanation, just absence. And absence has a cruel way of keeping grief alive indefinitely. Years passed, then decades. Investigators continued searching for answers. False leads appeared repeatedly. Possible sightings emerged across different places. But the central mystery remained painfully unchanged. What truly happened to Etan Patz? Eventually, many years later, a confession surfaced. A man named Pedro Hernandez admitted involvement in the child's disappearance. But even then, the emotional wounds surrounding the case never fully healed publicly, because by that point, the story had already become larger than a criminal investigation. It had become a symbol of parental fear itself. And maybe the reason stories like this stay with people for generations is because they attack something emotionally universal. The fragile trust human beings place in ordinary mornings. A child leaving home, a parent expecting them back later. Simple routines we rarely imagine could suddenly become permanent memories. There was no dramatic warning that day, no sign that history was quietly approaching one family's front door. Just a small boy walking toward a bus stop, while his mother watched from behind, believing she would see him again a few hours later. She never did. And perhaps the most heartbreaking part of this story is knowing that for 44 years, some part of her was still emotionally waiting near that window, hoping the impossible might somehow happen, hoping her son would finally come home. History is not old. History is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Feedy,